This one morning habit silently thickens your blood and triples stroke risk after 60. You won't hear this from most doctors, but as a brain health specialist, I'm shocked by how many seniors overlook one simple danger: going without water and skipping breakfast. It might sound harmless, but for aging bodies, it's a perfect storm. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the exact changes happening in your brain, blood, and hormones when you ignore this habit, and how one small shift could cut your risk dramatically. But that's not even the surprising part. After 60, our bodies change. But the stroke risk nobody talks about starts before breakfast. Most people think heart problems or memory loss just come with age, but the real issue might begin the moment you wake up, with dehydration and skipped meals quietly triggering cortisol surges, thickened blood, and disrupted insulin signals. This isn't fear, it's physiology. And today, I'll walk you through what's really happening inside your body each morning. Plus, the hydration nutrition rhythm I recommend to my patients every day. 1. Morning dehydration, the hidden stroke. Setup. Most people think strokes happen out of nowhere, but as a brain doctor, I can tell you, the first step toward a stroke often begins quietly, in the morning and in your blood. Let me explain. After a night of sleep, your body goes 8 to 12 hours without fluid. That's completely normal. But if you're over 60, something else is happening beneath the surface. Your blood thickens. Think of your blood like warm honey. When it's well hydrated, it flows smoothly. But when you wake up and skip water, especially as a senior, that honey becomes heavier, stickier, harder to pump. And that's dangerous. A 2004 study from Tokyo Medical University found that even mild dehydration can increase blood viscosity by 12.5% in just 4 hours. That means your heart has to work harder, and the risk of clot formation quietly increases. Now, here's the part most seniors don't realize. As you age, your kidneys lose up to 20% of their ability to conserve water. And your thirst signal, it gets 40% weaker. So even when you're dehydrated, your body might not ask for water the way it used to. Frank, 72, told me this. I used to wake up groggy and stiff, like my brain hadn't caught up with my body. I thought it was normal aging. But once I started drinking water first thing, I mean before coffee, before anything, everything changed. Clearer head, lighter body, no more morning fog. So what do I recommend? Start your day with 16 to 20 ounces of room temperature water within 5 minutes of waking up. Want to take it further? Add a pinch of sea salt and a slice of lemon to help your cells absorb the water more effectively. It's simple, it's free, and it can help thin your blood gently before your brain ever senses a threat. But what most people miss is what comes next. That's when an old myth starts doing new damage. 2. Skipping breakfast helps with weight loss. You've probably heard this advice for years. Skip breakfast to lose weight. It's one of the most common habits I see in seniors, and one of the most dangerous, because what most people don't realize is, after 60, skipping breakfast does more harm than good. Let's break it down. When you skip breakfast, you extend your overnight fast, which might sound helpful. But for older adults, that fasting window pushes your body into metabolic stress. Here's what actually happens. Your cortisol, that's your body's primary stress hormone, spikes. Cortisol acts like an internal alarm. It raises your blood pressure, tightens your arteries, and signals your brain to conserve energy. Normally, that would pass in an hour, but after 60, that cortisol spike is 60% stronger and lasts significantly longer. Your body stays in a stress response most of the morning without you even realizing it, and this is where the real problem begins. That prolonged cortisol surge disrupts insulin, the hormone that helps move sugar into your cells. Without insulin working properly, glucose starts to build up in your bloodstream. It doesn't get used for energy. It gets stored as fat, especially around your belly and organs. So, ironically, skipping breakfast can actually increase weight gain, raise inflammation, and worsen your stroke risk. A 2013 Harvard study followed over 26,000 adults for 16 years. Those who skipped breakfast had a 27% higher risk of heart disease, even when they ate well the rest of the day. Let me tell you about Marta, 68. She thought she was being good by only having coffee till noon, but she kept feeling lightheaded, irritable, and noticed her blood sugar creeping up. After her doctor explained what was happening, she started eating a small breakfast. Just Greek yogurt, some berries, and half a boiled egg. Her mood improved, her weight stabilized, and her blood pressure finally started coming down. So, no, skipping breakfast isn't harmless, especially not for a body that's already working harder to regulate hormones, pressure, and glucose. Miss this next step, and you may undo the progress you just made. 3. Cortisol cascade. Why skipping breakfast tightens arteries. So, what exactly is cortisol doing inside your body after 60? Let me show you. Cortisol is your body's morning get up and go hormone. It spikes naturally at dawn to wake you up, sharpen focus, and raise blood pressure just enough to start the day. But when you skip breakfast, especially after waking up dehydrated, that cortisol doesn't just rise, it surges, and it stays elevated for hours. Imagine your bloodstream like a freeway. Cortisol is supposed to act like green lights, helping traffic move. But when it's triggered by stress, like no food or fluids, it turns into red lights everywhere, constricting arteries, increasing blood pressure, and slowing circulation to the brain. That's especially dangerous for seniors. Why? Because aging blood vessels are already narrower and less flexible. So, the same cortisol level that a 30-year-old could handle hits a 70-year-old like a hammer. The N-Chains cardiovascular study in 2019 found that adults over 60 with elevated morning cortisol had a significantly higher risk of stroke and heart events. That's why I tell every patient over 60, breakfast isn't just a meal, it's your metabolic brake pedal. Marta, the same woman we met earlier, used to skip food until late morning. Her hands would tremble. She'd get lightheaded after standing. Now, she eats a boiled egg and some oats within 90 minutes of waking. And she told me, I feel calmer, like my system isn't panicking anymore. So, here's the rhythm I recommend. Within 5 minutes of waking, 16 to 20 ounces of room temperature water. Within 60 to 90 minutes, 25 grams of protein plus some complex carbs and healthy fat. Bonus, a short walk after breakfast to ease cortisol back down. This isn't a big diet change. It's just rebalancing the alarm system inside you. For many seniors, this is when the fog starts to lift. 4. Insulin rhythm disruption, a silent glucose trap. So, what happens after cortisol floods your system? Your body reaches for its next line of defense, insulin. Now here's the problem. When cortisol stays elevated, like it does in seniors who skip breakfast, insulin stops working the way it should. It's like the lock on your cells changes shape, and the insulin key no longer fits. This is called insulin resistance, and it's one of the most silent yet powerful risk factors for stroke, memory loss, and weight gain. You might not feel it right away, but here's what's happening behind the scenes. Your blood sugar rises, it lingers too long, and instead of being burned as energy, it gets stored as fat, especially around the midsection and internal organs. That's how a well-meaning habit, like skipping breakfast, can quietly train your metabolism to misfire. The Harvard Health Professionals study followed over 26,000 adults for 16 years. They found that those who skipped breakfast had a 27% higher risk of heart disease, not because of what they ate, but because of what they didn't. Let me bring Frank back into the story. He was a coffee-only guy until noon, swore it helped him stay sharp. but his glucose numbers kept creeping up. So we added one thing, a simple morning combo of steel-cut oats, a boiled egg, and a handful of berries. 3 weeks later, his numbers started normalizing, and as Frank said, I stopped crashing at 11 a.m. I didn't realize my brain needed fuel that early. So here's your insulin-friendly rhythm. Aim for 25 grams of protein and fiber-rich carbs within 90 minutes of waking oats, berries, eggs, Greek yogurt, all great options. Pair it with hydration. And your blood sugar rhythm begins to stabilize. But don't stop here. Your mitochondria don't lie. They respond to one thing next. 5. Sleep hormones plus stroke loop. What poor rest does to brain arteries. By now, you've seen how your mornings set the tone for brain health. But there's one more link in this chain, and it happens at night. Poor sleep, especially after 60, doesn't just leave you tired. It quietly sabotages the very hormones that protect your brain's blood vessels. Here's how. When your body is dehydrated and your insulin rhythm is off, your brain struggles to produce two key chemicals, melatonin and GABA. Melatonin helps you fall asleep. GABA helps you stay asleep, keeping your nervous system calm and your blood pressure low during deep rest. Without enough of these, your brain stays in high alert mode all night. It's like having the lights on in a room that's supposed to be dark. That overactivation has consequences. A 2016 study published in Stroke Journal followed sleep patterns in older adults over 90. They found a 27% increase in brain artery hardening in those with poor sleep quality. This means their arteries lost flexibility, making it harder for blood to reach memory centers, coordination zones, and speech circuits. Frank told me this after we adjusted his evening routine. I didn't just sleep deeper. I woke up without the tightness in my head. It's like the static was gone. Here's the healing rhythm I recommend. Sip 8 ounces of water about an hour before bed. Take 0.5 to 3 milligrams of melatonin between 9 and 10. PM, use soft lighting and stop screens. 30 minutes before sleep. It doesn't just help you fall asleep. It helps your brain repair the damage done during the day. Because what's at stake isn't just energy. It's memory, independence, and legacy. You don't need to overhaul your entire life to protect your brain. Just start by listening to it. That morning stiffness, that late morning crash, that fuzzy feeling that's hard to describe but easy to ignore. They're not just age, they're signals. Signals that your body is missing rhythm, hydration, and safety at the start and end of each day. But now you know the sequence. Hydrate when you wake. Nourish your system before cortisol takes over, and wind down your brain so it can heal during sleep. You're not broken. Your brain isn't fading. It's just asking for rhythm again. What's one part of your morning or evening you could soften, starting tonight? If this video gave you clarity, consider subscribing. This channel is here to help you rebuild confidence in your body, one small shift at a time. We're not chasing youth. We're building strength, memory, and peace for the years that matter most.